I'm Ramon Ray, an entrepreneur, an author, a writer. I've started 4 businesses, sold a business, and I make a lot of mistakes. That's the main thing you need to know. The other thing you need to know is that I am on Business Circle. So after this presentation, if I should be so fortunate to say something that you think is smart and you want to be in contact with me, feel free to come on, ladies and gentlemen, just say excuse me and slide on in. Just like coach class seats on an airline on a long trip. So I'm on Business Circle, so if you have questions to ask me, you can go there and find solutions, things like we're going to talk about today. There's ways to talk to experts and other things like that. So you can talk to any of us on the AT&T team, and that's where I reside and would love to help you in real time or on demand, okay? So, how many love gardening? How many love plants and flowers, getting your hand in the mulch and all that? Guess what? I can't stand that stuff. I hate it, but I love my wife. So therefore, this is the picture I always showcase in loving honor of my wife. She loves this stuff, and so I tend to help her do it on Saturdays or whenever she whips me into shape to do it. So that's a little bit about me. I'm not just an entrepreneur, but I do get my hands dirty with a variety of things. One thing I will not do is cut chicken. If you're sharing this out, at Ramon Ray is my Twitter handle. If you're sharing this or taking pictures, and AT&T's, I believe it's at ATT Small Biz. No one's going to, yeah, ATT Small Biz. So you can share them both. And why do we do that? It's good to do that because some of you are looking for publicity. What if the ATT Small Biz handle retweets your handle? Isn't that freaking awesome? Okay, well, I think it is. Thank you. Yeah, somebody on the live stream can do it. Or those of you, even as you're watching it on post, you can do it as well. So, a full qualification. I am not a professional media person. Just want to be clear. What I'm going to share with you today are things that have worked for me. They don't work for everybody. So don't go home and try to do it and say it didn't work. I'm just telling you what I do. I shave my head every Friday too over a bathtub. Doesn't mean you have to do it. But that's my world. Okay? So I'm not a professional person, but these are things that over 20 years of experience that I've done. And I've done some pretty stupid stuff too. So join me in the journey. So a little bit about me, just showing in context. I don't talk about myself a lot, but I just want to show you recently on MSNBC. So that's one notch that I've done. Did that on my own. They called me. Recently on Fox Business, I happened to hire a publicist for this, and we'll talk about this, but recently on Fox Business, talking about higher wages. So these are some things I've done, and I'm going to show you some of the steps you can do to get there, as it were, as well. Okay? So that's just showing you a little about myself. So current marketing options we have, there's so many. You have advertising, word of mouth, social media, networking, things like we're doing today where you're passing your flyers out, et cetera, et cetera. Yes? How many do word of mouth marketing? I bet most all of you, right? How many are doing any advertising, paid advertising? Okay, maybe just quick talk about it, just if you don't mind. Online, is it radio, TV? How is it working for you, or what are you doing?
It's Google search.
Okay, good, okay. And is it working? Have you done it for years and you got it dialed in, or are you just new to it?
Oh, it works very well.
Okay, good, okay, great. Okay, good. You have word of mouth. Okay, talk about word of mouth. Social media, that goes kind of, I'll put that in the rubric of social media. And then how many go to a lot of networking events? Okay, good. How's it working for you? It's all right, okay, good. How many is it rocking it? I mean, like Ramon, I am the bomb. When you look up networking on Wikipedia, you see my picture. Nobody's quite there yet. Okay, fine. So, networking events. So these are some traditional forms of advertising, and they work, and they do very well. What I would dare say, welcome everyone, what I would dare say is that there are benefits to media exposure. And that's kind of what I want to step up today and talk about today, is the benefits, why we may want to consider media exposure, having the media cover you in some way. 3 main things I think it does for me, and maybe it doesn't do the same thing for you, but this has been my experience. 1, it builds credibility. Even if you're full of it, it still builds credibility, right? You're on TV, you're on Fox News, you're on MSNBC, you're on CNBC, whatever it is, you're on the radio, and they put your business there, the events planning company, I think the lady here, right? That means you're the hot dog that day, right? A thought leader, being on the media and the news and etc. frequently, that means this lady or this guy knows pretty much what they're talking about. Make sense? Another thing, of course, is just simple brand exposure. This is why media companies, whether it's AT&T or any other large companies, pay to be on broadcast media, right? To seek our attention. So as a small business owner, you can pay that route or also get brand exposure by being in the news, okay? So these are some of the reasons why I advocate that you want to do it. And I hope we have questions afterwards. Definitely from our Periscope audience, feel free to ask questions in. We'll answer them as we go along or afterwards. So here are some of my best practices for media exposure, some things I've learned over the years, which I hope helps you. Now, there may be more steps that you want to do. There may be fewer steps. But I hope that today you can take some of the things I've learned and apply them to your business. And I'll try to leave plenty of time also for questions and possibly answers. I don't know if I'll give answers, but you can definitely ask questions. So, and remember, all these things you can see and engage us on the AT&T Business Circle site. Definitely a site, if you love this, you'll love what's there as well. So one, when you're considering getting media attention for your business, is to follow your customers. That's very, very important. So anybody here can give me a profile of who your typical customer is? Anybody? Quick, real quick. Okay. Who's your typical customer? Describe it to me.
City and county employees.
60 you said? City?
And county.
I love it. City, state, and county employees. Anything else on that? Any other dial in? Any other narrow? Can you narrow even a bit more? City, state, county employees. Anything else? Teachers. Okay, we're going. I like it. Okay, going a bit narrow. Any age? Or does it?
21.
You got it? So my point in this case is, I don't know what media that is in this local area, but let's pretend they all read, I don't know, the Los Angeles Youth Magazine for Teachers. Is there something like that? I made it up, but let's say they're reading the Los Angeles Youth Magazine for Teachers because it follows her audience demographic. You follow me? That would be a win for you to be in there. Now, it may not be a win necessarily for you to be in the New York Times, as an example, but this thing about follow your customers, know where your customers are at, and then get in the appropriate media that is for your customers. That's what that means by follow your customers. Because if you're trying to get media, say on Summer Ramon, I want to be on, Vibe, or I want to be on Huffington Post. If your customers are not there, that's good. You can show your mama and your dad, oh, look, your daughter was on media, but it's not relevant to your business. So rule number one, step one is really follow your customers. If your customers are of this demographic type, you want to be there as well. Do you follow? That's very broad, but the other points I will tell you now will help crystallize that. So second of all is know the media. This is very important as well. Once you understand the target audience and what they read, you want to now understand, get a deep dial down. Let's take the Los Angeles area. Can somebody shout out what are 2 or 3 most popular Los Angeles type of media? LA Times? And that's it, I guess. Okay, fine, LA Times. And those who are not here with us, those in your local area, think, what is the broad media that's important for your business? So it applies whether you're here in LA or whether you're national. But the point is, you want to now map, what are my customers reading, or what are they watching? What radio stations are they on? Are they young guys and young girls who are into sports? Whatever it may be. Now you want to draw a map, a list. And maybe write down on that list what are the top 3 or 4 media that you need to now target. Is it the local all news radio station? Is it talk radio? Is it NPR? Whatever it may be, you want to know the media. This is important because every media is different. If you're going to an all news station, what do they have? Every 22 minutes, every 30 minutes is a cycle, correct? They do hard news of the day. If you're doing something more like NPR, going back to, what's your name, man, with the event business? I'm going to pick on you for the next 30 minutes. Beverly. That's okay, Beverly. So Beverly, if it's for you, NPR would cover it like this. Tell me if I'm right. Children and Gaming. How Gaming Affects Children 11 to 12 Years Old by NPR. We talked today with Beverly how the children's minds can expand by using balloons, right? It was an all-news station, balloons and children's safety. Should children have balloons in their parties? We talked to Beverly, right? Am I right? 2 different scenarios. But this is what I mean. You need to know the media. Welcome, everyone. You need to understand them. Because if you understand the media, if you know how they are and what they're doing, then you'll win the game. If you don't know what their deadlines are, you don't know what their editors are, you don't know how they write their stories, you won't win. How many read Huffington Post? Or know it? It's a bit salacious, right? It's a bit left wing, right? A bit liberal more, as if you want to talk political, right? So you need to understand this so that you can craft your story how the media wants it. You follow me? It doesn't work the other way around. The media are not going to bend them to fit you. You have to craft your story to them. Okay? So that's step 2. Know the media. Know what special sections do they have. Do they have a section on whatever? Something that would fit your target demographic. Okay? Second of all is to know the decision maker. This is very important. Feel free to walk on in, just say, excuse me, and step on people's feet and heels. They don't mind. So, know the decision maker. This is the third thing and very important. And I'll talk about building relationships. But every media company has a group, one or more people who are in charge of that news that you're hearing or reading. This is important to know who they are, even if you don't meet them, to know who they are and to know how they work. This is critical. So that, let's say the local radio station, maybe I'm making this up because I don't know this deeply, but let's say they have someone called the morning assignment editor. That means if you're doing something that's about late in the evening, it doesn't make sense for you to know the morning assignment editor, right? You need to know the gal who comes in at 6 in the evening and leaves at 3 in the morning. Do you follow the principle I want you to understand? Understand the media and you will win the game. It's a game, trust me, and I play it. So there's a decision maker there. Sometimes there's several different levels and you need to understand this. You're trying to call 1-800 local AM station and pitch your story. That guy who answered the phone doesn't give a darn about your story. You need to get the producer, the editor, the assignment editor, whoever it may be. Do you follow me? Yes. And I'll talk about some tips of how to get to know these people in a bit. But I want you to understand this principle. Or freelancers. If you look at the masthead, where they write the names of any type of newspaper or thing like that, they list who's in there. Maybe it's a freelance writer. And another example, does the freelance writer have their own beat or do they have to get permission? Those are nuances you want to know, okay? Moving on here. Know the journalist. I think this might be one of the most important things. Now, if it's broadcast TV where you used to sing an anchor, it may be harder to meet. I don't know, Matt Lauer is the guy on Good Morning America or somewhere. You know what? Anybody know, am I saying that right, Matt Lauer? Okay, because y'all looking at me like I'm crazy, and my family does that already, so I know that. But when a public audience does it, it makes me very nervous. So please, look at me like I'm smart if I say something dumb. So, know the journalist. Now, this is an opportunity that all small businesses can win 100%. Take the time to get to know journalists. So, in my local New York area, there's a journalist called Joe Connolly. You can look him up on Twitter, look him up online. He works for Bloomberg. He used to work for Wall Street Journal. And he tells me my claim to fame, he's an older guy. Ramon Ray told me about the World Wide Web before I knew about the web. Oh man, that's what he tells me. And he's, to this day, I have cassette tapes with me introducing him to like the internet and stuff like that. So my point is that know the journalist. Now why is this important? Because when this journalist who I've taken the time to know has a story, what is he going to do? He's going to call upon me because we have a relationship. Is this right? So relationships are very important beyond trying to pitch me. Know the journalist. Now, how can you do this? I'll tell you how I met Joe Connolly. And this goes back, how many of you are networking gurus? Okay, so all y'all networking gurus, y'all should know this already. So, after the event, and this is how I did it, I waited till everybody was gone. I'm not a bum rusher, is that what you call it? Like when you jump on people? I don't do that. I waited till the event was over. Second of all, I knew he was tired and didn't want to talk to me. That's okay. Third, I didn't talk about myself. Joe, you gave a great speech. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, this is being recorded, so I won't say it was an ego boost in case he sees this now. So it helped warm him up, right? It wasn't about me. Third thing, I said, hey, I know you're busy. Do you mind if I walk out with you? Nobody except a Grinch is going to say, don't walk out with me. So I said, basically, what was I saying? I'm not going to hold you hostage. I know you're tired. I respect your space. Can we just chill and walk out? He said, yes. That's how I made that friendship with him. Do you follow? So this is just being one-on-one. Anybody here ever been in a long-term relationship before? Okay, one person. Anybody here? No, I'm serious. One person. This is LA, so they may do it differently. I don't know. Anybody here ever dated anybody before? Okay, two. Jason, just me and you. 3 people. Okay, 4. Wow. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be here. I don't want to offend people. Periscope people, rescue me. Anybody been in a long-term relationship? The reason I say that, it's just like you've had relationships. You follow me? It's just being nice, just being kind. And it sounds corny, Ramon, tell us the juicy stuff. This is journalism 101. If you can't be nice, you can't build a relationship and not focus on me, you lost the game, and it's a game. Okay, moving on. Remember, they have feelings too. So going on here. Timing is everything. Now we know the Pope came to LA about a month ago, right? Oh no, that's right, he came to the New York area, sorry. No, I'm just messing with y'all. So the Pope, and this is not a political statement, okay? Those of you who are non-religious, whatever, forget it. It's not a political issue I'm bringing up. Bringing up a news story. Pope came to New York a couple months ago, whenever it was, right? Now that would not be the right time to say, oh, New York Post, New York Times, these top tier media, can we please talk about Buddha's persecution? Or can we talk about whatever it is? You follow me? It's not the time. You need to craft your business and how your event party business makes the best white caps for kids. I don't know. Balloons that look like the Pope. Make up something. But do you follow what I'm saying? Right. Timing is everything. It's the 24th of December, and you want to talk about Thanksgiving recipes that your company makes. I don't think so. Wrong time. Too late. Boat has left the station. You follow me? Timing is everything. So, if there's the news of the day happening, how can your business fit into that news? That's point one. Or if something you have that you, and I'll give you some store ideas, if there's not the news of the day, Ramon, I can't think of something, then you can figure out how you can be an expert in it. Do you follow me? So when I was on Fox Business, they talked about minimum wage. I'm not an expert in minimum wage at all. I can barely talk. Y'all know that. However, I have an opinion on something, and I try to have an opinion on everything. But within reason. There's certain things I don't get into for a variety of reasons. But I was able to be on Fox Business and talk about the minimum wage increase. Do you follow me? So all of us as business owners can be an expert in something. All of you have kids, or all of you, if you have kids, if you have family, all of you have experiences that you can share, okay? So keep in mind, timing is everything. This is important to keep in mind. Because if you rush that and don't, and this goes back to not respecting the journalist, you're going to wonder why you're losing out. Timing is everything. So, and now, if timing is everything, it sounds like a negativity or disadvantage. But this also means what? This means you can think ahead. What's happening on December 31st? Thank you. It's coming. That's it. What's happening on April 15th? The best day of the year for Americans. Tax day. Can we all smile and say tax day? Yes, we can. You get my point. I heard that. So my point is, we know these big events are coming, right? How can we small businesses take advantage of it? Do you follow me? Okay? So timing is everything. Think of it. And then keep in mind, you can make up stuff too. Now that's harder for small businesses, but companies do that. Why do you think there's so many opportunities for greeting cards? Hallmark is not a stupid company. Think about it. So, another thing you can do is create your own show. Don't sit by the side of the road. Oh, nobody reached out to me. I have the best what? What do we have the best of? The best? No, tell me your stuff. What's the best?
Market research.
What kind of research?
Market research.
But I want you to say it with pride. I have the best market research freak, and I have the best. Say it.
I have the best market research.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay, good. So, my point is, create your own show, create your own product. In a way, we're doing this today, right? So we're here with X number of people, right? But we have Periscope, a live audience. We have those who are watching on video. We can expand it however much we want. Still photography. All of you small businesses can do this. So the story here, a friend of mine is Brent Leary, based in Atlanta. He's a CRM kind of dude, guru-ish guy. I don't know. He's just a guy. There's Gene Marks. I don't know why we all have no hair here, but anyways. Gene Marks. I have hair, but I shave it. But Gene Marks, a friend of mine in Philadelphia. I think he's done some work with AT&T in the past as well. And there's Ramon. We made a commitment every Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. we would have a live stream show called 3 Tech Guys. It was a 20-minute show, 1/3 fun, 1/3 insanity, and 1/3 information. And it grew. It grew so much, and it's ironic that Fox again, but Fox Business Online wanted to syndicate the show. In fact, they did for a while till we stopped it for a variety of reasons. My point is, it's okay for you to start out and launch and do your own stuff. The tools here today enable every small business owner to be your own publisher. Absolutely. There is no excuse why you can't take your own video camera, ladies. I already know your thoughts. I'm a mind reader. Business Circle, we have a mind reader channel. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. Ramon, I can't get hair and makeup. I can't do it. Stop that. Done. You can do it. You wake up in the morning, do what you got to do, put that camera on, and publish. YouTube, Vimeo, Periscope, Blab, whatever it is. Do you follow me? Every small business needs to be a publisher, and I'm getting into another discussion. We had other sessions about social media. It's imperative. It's imperative. Trust me on that. You can go to Business Circle. I would encourage you. Look up the stuff we have about social media. It's powerful. Okay? So, publish, create your own content. Whether it's a video channel that's live, whether it's a video channel that's archived, whether it's Instagram, whether it's photos, whatever it is, you want to create your own content. Now, why are you doing that? You're doing this because, let me pick on somebody else. Who has a business that's just very interesting or boring as tomatoes? One of the two, please.
I'm in the middle.
So I don't like middle. Middle throws my whole, now you just met, no, please, what is it?
We help people open businesses. Very similar to LegalZoom. So if you were starting out and you didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it is in the middle, yeah, because I want to say it's like boring, like, oh my God, but then I want to say it's exciting. Okay, good. What's the name of the company?
It's the Biz Shop.
So the Biz Shop, what a great name. So she has a company called the Biz Shop, which helps people start businesses, okay? So imagine every Tuesday, don't do Monday because I did Monday already. So every Tuesday at 4 p.m., you're going to have one tip of the day that's 5 minutes. Hi, what's your name?
Katie.
Hi, my name is Katie. We have one tip of the day. Click. Oh, you're supposed to click first. Click. Hi, my name is Katie. We have one tip of the day. The tip of the day is about how to do what, Katie?
Start your own business.
No, what's the tip of the day? What's the one tip?
How to build a business you're proud of.
How to build a business you're proud of. Most of you build businesses that you're not proud of and you're crying over it. Here's, you follow me, show's over, done. Hit done, put lower thirds and publish it. Doesn't be perfect. You do that every day. I'm not saying something will happen guaranteed, but more often than not, by doing that, your 10th show, your 20th show, your 50th show, your 100th show, over and over and over and over, consistently doing it, somebody's going to see it and see value. And going back to the big media, the secret sauce I will tell you, especially live TV, because I've done it many times, they are very nervous and it's a show. They cannot risk having someone, what's your name? Katie, right? Katie. So Katie, tell us, what are the best ways to start a small business? Well, when I was growing up in Georgia, that's just TV. So by you doing your own show, they can instantly see who can talk and who cannot, and who has something to say. You follow what I'm saying, okay? Moving on. Understand the news equation. This is where it all sums up. Understand the news equation. This is important. The news equation is made up of 3 parts, in my opinion. But again, any of you who are real professionals, just say I'm wrong, but say it quietly in my ear, please, and definitely don't tweet it, please. But if I'm right, you can just tell everybody. Okay, so I'm just teasing y'all. So you have advertisers on one side, and there's no order of priority. Advertisers, as we know, pay the freight for all this stuff we see, right? Whether it's TV or Hulu or online. Does that make sense, right? Advertisers, right? LA's a different audience, I guess. Boston, they're more like, yes. Okay. Then you have the readers or the consumers, those who are watching the stuff, right? And who advertisers want to reach. Am I right? Yeah. Then you have the story or the news of the day. This is the equation. And the meat and potatoes, your opportunity for small businesses, your opportunity is the story or the news of the day. Now, there's a lot of stories. You got Middle East and all kind of things happening. But in local communities, media companies are starving for great content and great stories. Your job is how can I feed it to them? And as a journalist, we're lazy people. So when you feed us right, yeah, I got the story just crafted for you. Yes, perfect. Get the headline. We're going to eat it. You follow me. Okay? So understand this. I want to move quickly through this. How many of you have questions or would like to have questions and get help in your business live while I do this? Okay, so I will leave plenty of time, and I'm going to assume maybe we have some on Periscope too. So what makes good news? I'm going to go through this. What makes good news? How many of you can raise your business? Raise your hand. You know your business is so boring, your mama won't even talk about it at Christmas. How many have businesses like that? Tell me. Raise your hand. Okay, good. I see. A friend raised her hand up. Somebody, okay, how many? Okay, good. So one person is probably 40 of you who agrees to. Here's some things you can do if you have one of those boring businesses that are not naturally exciting. 1, statistics and trends. What are some stats? What are numbers? Did you know that men do this? Did you know that this happened? Did you know? Whatever it is. Okay? Women's issues, minority issues, majority issues, whatever. Stats and trends. Commentary on news of the day. There's always somebody looking for this and this happened. What do you think, dear small business owner? Charity work. How many of you like to give back to the community? Okay, 6 people out of a whole room full of people. Wow. That's okay. I don't know. We'll have to write an article on that on Business Circle too. Giving back. So charity work. New services and products. Last least, I wouldn't go there for small businesses because you'll probably do it wrong. Other one is Your customers. How many who are in business or working for somebody have customers? Okay, half the room have customers. Great, the others are you. Okay, see Bernie Madoff. Anyways, your customers. Talk about your customers. I'm sure some of you have those customers. That is so amazing. People choke up, right? Don't some of you have customers like that? Yes, you know you do. You can see them right now. The little girl whose tooth fell out and who she came to your party and you gave her a balloon in the shape of a tooth and she just cried, right? You get my point, okay? So customers. So those are some ways to get into the news cycle. Only plenty of time for questions. So, other thing, be attractive to journalists. This is another thing that's important. Remember, journalism is all about creating a story. It's about getting someone to want you. It's just like dating. Again, only 4 people if you've dated before, I know. The rest of you have no clue what it's about. But for the few of you who've dated before, it's like dating. Do you follow what I'm saying? So you want to focus on this, just like dating. So, one is appear knowledgeable. This is kind of the excuse my vernacular, BS of it. This is the stuff that nobody can tell if you're true or not. It's just what you said. But appear knowledgeable. From how you look, how you dress, that you have yourself put together, how you talk, you want to appear knowledgeable. It's TV, it's radio, it's media. Do you understand? Now, if they're writing it, it doesn't matter. But journalists want to hear people who talk smart. 2, be knowledgeable. Now, you can appear knowledgeable for about half a second. But when you open your mouth, it's all going to hang out. So you have to be knowledgeable or be able to make up stuff quick. Now, I've been on TV before where the producer may have said, walking me through things. I would walk the whole room, but, walking me through. So, Ramon, like tech shows. So how much does this cost? And I don't know. I made it up. But because I know my industry, I'm dead on by a few dollars. So you follow what I'm saying. If you're a professional, what you do, you can make up but still be accurate. Okay. Be exciting and passionate. This is exciting. This is very important. I've been in many TV studios, radio studios, talking to journalists on the phone. And 2 things they tell me, Ramon, you're talking about this with so much passion, I want to write about it. Or producers will say, okay, when you come out of the box and you come out and the cameras go on, be exciting. Very few people, except I think Boring Magazine Today, I think that's the only magazine I know, in the Boring TV channel. Everybody wants excitement. So you have to deliver that and be that. Talk about your research reports. How do you pronounce your first name? Di. You have a beautiful smile. So when you talk about those research reports, and what's the research reports about?
It's very custom based.
Great. So we have very custom-based research reports for every industry in America and Mars next year. That's exciting. Okay? Okay. Now, how do I appear knowledgeable? And again, if you guys go to Business Circle, we have a lot of these things on personal branding, probably in social media. This is where this comes in, so do check that out. But the one tip I have, and I've talked about this on other things we did on the tour here, but plenty of online content. Plenty of online content. It's very important. And 2, events. If you're speaking at events like this, talk to your local chamber. Can you have me speak at an event? And the last one, other media coverage. Get a local blogger to cover you. That's media coverage. You follow what I'm saying. Get the local chamber to give an article. Do bylines, things of that nature. Okay? So that's how you can appear knowledgeable, which is very important. And again, get your questions ready. So a personal website is important. I'm a strong advocate that every small business has to have 3 websites. I'm only going to talk about 2 of them today. For the other one, you'll have to just hit me up on Business Circle, I guess. That was mean, I know, but that's how it is. So personal website. You have to have your name or your expertise. Die, right? No, diemarketresearch.com. I'm making it up, but you get me. Something that kind of shows who you are. Because this is what the media and other people, they'll look at this and see, let me see who this person is, okay? Personal website. Awesome pictures and images. Now, I know that I'm just butt ugly. I understand that. I can't help that. That's how I was born. However, I can sure make sure the pictures I have are the best I can do it. Now, I'm going to say something here to the ladies. If you wish to get offended at me, you may do so. That's fine. It's a lady problem. I go online on many of these sites, and the young dads too, and I see a stroller with their baby in it. Why am I seeing a stroller with your baby when I want to hire you to be an acupuncturist? Why do I care about that you had a newborn? I don't care at all. Totally irrelevant to me. Am I right? I'm with NPR. I want to interview you about the Iraq War because you're a vet and you have yourself pushing your son in a swing. Who cares? No relevancy to me. So knock that junk off and stop that, please. Okay? Can we swear you'll stop that? Change them today. Good. All right. God bless America. Whoa, okay, we've had a revolution, Periscope beam. Take away family photos. You can leave them on a private page, but seriously, take that stuff off, okay? And also, pictures of two people, I don't like that either. You know, this gentleman just got married. He has his bride in his arm with him too. It's irrelevant. I'm trying to hire him. No, who am I hiring? The lady in the white gown or him? I don't know. Okay, so you get my point, right? So invest in good pictures and photos, and you can get them from other places. People taking pictures of you, ask, can I use these or whatever it is, okay? So if you want to be invited again, it's important to ace the interview. I've been on TV many times, been on radio, interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, New York Times. I can go on and on and on and on. And if you screw this up, you will never be invited again. Now, they won't tell you. Anybody have a friend that you invited over for Thanksgiving dinner? And while you were there, you were smiling, you know, Knox, thank you for coming. It's so good to have you. But inside, I cannot wait until this joker leaves. Anybody have that experience? Okay, you know what I'm talking about? This is how the news media, you will be on TV, you'll be on the radio, you'll be interviewed on the phone. They'll say yes, yes, yes. Two things will happen. Oh, she said my interview was going to come tomorrow at 10:37 after traffic report. I didn't hear it. Oh, sorry. Click. That's it. So if you want to ace it, couple things. Some things here I don't even do well. But one, speak clearly. Two, don't use jargon. How many here in an industry that's full of jargon, especially if you're in a specialized industry? Yeah. So what's your industry, sir?
Plumbing, heating, cooling.
I can imagine now. So, sir, there was a building collapsed somewhere in Los Angeles. You know, it flooded the daycare center. The kids were all saved, but they have to restore it. Well, ma'am, we found that if the BCU pipe in a 40-inch panel, if you do that and restore it with T45 plumbing from a QBC, you know, really, that will save America. And in fact, I think the BOQ types have to be fit into the router of the joysticks. And really? Just say, put wood to pine and glue it, and the place will be fine. There we go. Okay. No jargon. Be for real also. Be authentic. Don't try to be who you're not. People, you can smell that. You can smell that actually 3.5 miles away. Stats show you can tell fakeness 3.5 miles away. Be informative but brief and speak in sound bites. This is a skill. It's an art. Being able to speak in sound bites. It's very important. Now, it's important because especially now on broadcast media, not if you're being interviewed for a long story, but you need to learn the art. Going back to Mr. Plumbing. What's your name, sir? Dorman. Okay, going back to Mr. Dorman. So, Mr. Dorman, you know, what do houses need to be done? What do houses need to be ready for the winter? Making it up. I know it's not exactly, but you know, ready for the winter. They need 3 things. Insulation, good heating, and an awesome party from Beverly. That's it. Right? You follow me? Speak to the point, okay? Use numbers and data. Give stories and examples. This is important. Life is complicated. But going back to Dorman, if you can say something like, for example, when you were a child, you went out, you put a coat and a hat on, it warmed you. That's what insulation number 4 does, buying it from Home Depot. It makes you warmer. Insulation number 3, it's like going outside without a hat on. You follow me? Everybody gets it? Simple to the point. Okay? Be prepared. Do due diligence. As an example, we came today. Many of us were here hours before you got here, right? Being prepared. Preparation is important. When I go on TV or I'm interviewed, I look up who's interviewing me. If it's for a story that could be political, what is their political slant? Not in a bad way. I have no shame about who I am, but it's good to know it. Okay? Moving on here. Should you hire a publicist? This is a question that I'm often asked. Should you hire a publicist? I think it's a valid question. Publicists can be very expensive. So I think this. I've hired a publicist. I've not hired a publicist. I would say first and foremost, do your own publicity. Work hard to get any media interview you can. Whether it's even just a local radio station or local blogger, do that a few times. Practice that one. 2, consider hire a publicist when you have so much work to do or when you have so much happening that you probably can afford their fee of between $2,000 and $5,000 a month, depending on the publicist. That's what it probably will cost you. Anybody who says, well, I'm interning, I can charge you $3.99, it's not worth it. So, unless it's me. So, and you can read other things here. We can give you this later on. But the point is, so a publicist should be used as an asset or as an added value to what you can do. This is what a publicist should be used for. Make sense? This is what they should be used for. So if you have added value to give, if you already have your stuff dialed in, all you're doing is making them an extension of your brand. A publicist is great for two things. One, they're media experts, but two, they're relationships. That's when you may want to consider hiring a publicist. Okay, so how to begin. One, as we're coming to an end here, I want your questions. Remember, check out the Business Circle website. I'll take yours first. And the sweepstakes to enter there is bizcircle.att.com/sweepstakes. So, how to begin? In summary here, be well spoken as we wrap up. Look for story angles in everything. As you're walking down a block and you see some trash, darn it, I could take that trash, clean it up, and make a party out of it. There's a story angle. Done. Develop relationships with journalists. Now, again, I'm sorry, Los Angeles. Only 4 of us in the room have dated or been in a relationship before, have a significant other. I know it. Periscope, I hope you guys save us. But develop relationships. Develop relationships. And this doesn't mean, can you cover me, can you cover me, can you cover me? This doesn't mean all about me. A relationship means, hi, what's going on? Who are you? Can I be your friend? That's what a relationship is about. And so if you do that with a journalist, I almost guarantee you, not legally from Ramon to you, not AT&T, from Ramon to you, I almost guarantee you that you will win this game. And it is a game. And you're in a war because this dude here has a product that competes with you. And they can't take both of you. That's the bottom line. Develop your own media. Remember I said that? Develop your own. Every small business should be a publisher. That's the bottom line. You all should be having some sort of content online. Make the offer to contribute. It's not about saying, can you cover me? It's, hey, I noticed you talk about gaming. I noticed you talk about vitamin water, my favorite drink. Guess what my story is? Guess what expertise I have? Going back to Dorman here. I can talk to you about, hey, this building did this here, or winter's coming. I can talk to you about this. Man, we found that children ages 3 to 5 years old, 92% of the time, they always clog their bathrooms in the month of May. Woo, I made that up, but I hope you can get that stat somewhere. Please. Yes. Oh, thank you. You know what? Thank you very much. Thank you. And establish great online presence. Your website and other things should look darn good.